Hey guys, it's Savannah and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a bit different. I have been working on my Optimus Prime bag that I am taking to the fan con that my boyfriend and I are going to next July, and I have been struggling a bit with motivation for working on it. So I decided that today I would do a bit of a crochet and chat to help motivate me to actually get some work done on it. So I'm just going to work on this a bit and talk about everything and nothing while I work on it, I guess. I actually have no idea what to talk about while I'm doing this, but you know, I will figure it out as we go along. We are going to the convention in Knoxville on July 12th. We are going that day because Peter Cullen will be there, and he is the voice of Optimus Prime and has been since the animated show in the 1980s started. And I had never watched anything Transformers before I started dating Cole, but he is a big fan, introduced me to it, and I have slowly been becoming a fan. He is very proud of that fact, and I tease him and say that I'm going because I love him, but I am excited to go and meet him. Especially since I looked up Peter Cullen after we watched the 1984 Transformers movie, and I learned that he has been the voice of Eeyore since like forever, and I grew up watching like the old Winnie the Pooh movies and show, which is really odd for me to say considering that I'm only 25 and I've been feeling old so much recently. But I mean, I've always loved Eeyore. He's just always been such a great little guy. Like, I always felt bad that he was sad, but it always made my day whenever his friends would help him out and reattach his tail every time it fell off. Like, he was just the best. But we are going to be doing a meet and greet and signing with Mr. Cullen, and I don't know which one of his several Funkos Cole is taking to get signed, but I ordered off of eBay a Hot Topic exclusive Eeyore that is very shiny and sparkly, so that's what I'm taking to get signed. I thought about having him sign the bag, but I don't think Sharpie and acrylic yarn will go very well together. So, but we are also going to be going to a panel Q&A thing that he will be doing that day. So it is going to be such an interesting day. I have been struggling with getting this flap for the bag properly centered. This is my third or fourth attempt at this, and I think I finally figured out what I was doing wrong. So hopefully it works out this time, because the fact that it has not been lining up has been frustrating me. I started the bottom of the bag as a rectangle, so it had corners, but once it started building up, they did not just go straight up. It started leaning with the weight on top of it, so it has been a bit difficult to get this centered properly, but I think I have it now. So hopefully this will work out properly now. I know I have not posted a video recently, but I do want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel recently. It is absolutely insane that I am just sitting at 120 subscribers right now. I never thought that this channel would get very big. I mainly started so that I could keep track of my projects and progress, but also to post videos of you know, patterns that I felt that would benefit from having a tutorial for some sections. So I never really thought about it actually growing like this, but I'm just, again, very grateful for all of you who have been just subscribing recently. I am hoping y'all can hear my music that I am playing. I've got some classical music going right now. I was in concert band all through middle school and high school, and most of college as well. So I enjoyed being able to, you know, play arrangements of well-known songs and all that, but I will always hold a love of classical music because we did play classical as well. I played more than probably several of my peers did because I was also taking piano lessons through middle school and high school, so I would play more classical pieces there as well, because, you know, a lot of classical composers would compose for string quartets, orchestras, but also just for the pianoforte. But it's always just nice and relaxing to listen to classical music for me. But in the same vein, sometimes I just need to listen to classical music instead of pop music or any other music like that, because especially Broadway, because of so long playing instruments and being in band and stuff like that, my brain automatically goes to analyzing the composition and trying to figure out what part I would be playing. On top of learning piano, outside of school, I I played I played flute starting in 6th grade. I kept that up, eventually also picking up piccolo in my junior year of high school. I marched flute my freshman year of high school, piccolo my junior and senior year of high school, as well as did both in the concert band. But I taught myself clarinet the summer before sophomore year because I did not want to have my arms hurting from holding up a flute perfectly even to the ground for 10 minutes while marching a show. So I also know clarinet. I actually did clarinet in pep band in college for basketball games. Usually I was the only one doing the clarinet part, so it was very much needed. But I played flute and piccolo in the symphonic band in college. I sadly did not keep up with piano much after high school just because of time constraints and the piano's always being booked at college for the music majors and all that stuff. But I did get to keep up with flute and clarinet a little bit longer. I've sadly not been able to play either of those in the last 3 years now, but I'm hoping to be able to get back to it at some point. I miss it, especially since I went to an Auburn football game with my boyfriend and his dad and brother last September, and it was just so much fun watching the marching band during halftime, because it was just taking me back a decade into my own marching band years, and I was missing it. I didn't go to a college with a football team, so I didn't do marching band. Sometimes I regret it, and then other times I don't, because I'm just like, I don't know how I would have had the time to do it. But, it's always an adventure. The main reason I have not posted a podcast episode in the last couple months is I have been going through a creative slump. A good part of it is I've been very down recently. I have been trying to find a different job, preferably full-time, because I am sick of working part-time, making practically nothing, because most of my paycheck goes to my car payment every month. And working the evenings. It's just not been sustainable for me. I have been struggling with it, and it just is not fulfilling for me. I also want to be able to, at hopefully some point soon, be able to contribute towards wedding and house and expenses for myself and Cole whenever we get married, which will again hopefully be soon. And making $8.50 an hour part-time just has not been it's not it. I had a job interview end of April, beginning of May, that I unfortunately did not get, and it kind of really hurt my morale towards things. And it led over to, you know, my crochet mojo. So I've not been working on hardly any projects at all. I've been working on this bag sporadically because I need it very soon. So that's mainly been my focus. My creativity has been shot because my brain just has not been firing creatively. And as someone with diagnosed and medicated anxiety and depression, it's frustrating because crochet is something that I absolutely love and adore doing. I enjoy creating patterns, working on other patterns that are out there, and making these videos for you guys. And it's just been frustrating on multiple levels to not have that spark. But I believe I am getting back there. I have been experiencing the drive to want to crochet again. I actually worked some on my scrappy blanket yesterday, and it felt good to do that. I did a couple of rounds on it, and it is getting to be big, y'all. It's my DK weight one, and it is covering most of my lap now. So I believe I'm at 482 stitches in the round, and on round 60, I believe, for it, which is absolutely insane. I almost am like, why didn't I hold these double? Maybe we'd be further in size right now with less rounds. But I'm enjoying it because it is showing off, you know, the colors for it, because it's all hand-dyed yarns. And hand-dyed yarns are absolutely gorgeous to look at. It is nothing like these acrylic factory yarns. But I was so excited to go to the Great Smoky Mountain Fiber Fair back in April, because I was there on a mission, and I found the fingering weight mini skeins that I was there for adapting one of my DK weight advent patterns to fingering weight, and I've hardly worked on it at all, and it's just been hard not having that, because I keep thinking about it and I'm like, I really should work on it. I wanted to work on it, but I've just not been able to. And I'm also upset because my ring light died. and now it's not showing the colors as well. But oh well, I'll just charge it. Maybe next time it'll work. Stay on longer than 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, I got off track, but another reason I've not posted recently was I had a couple big things going on. Well, my 1-year dating anniversary with my boyfriend was May 5th, and we went out and had a nice dinner at Rodizio's together. And then 2 days later, we went to the Red Sox and Braves baseball game in Atlanta. He got me and him, and my sister went with us because he got free tickets for Christmas. And that was the game they were for. My poppy, my mom's dad, he passed after fighting Parkinson's dementia for years last January. And he was a lifelong Boston Red Sox fan because he is from South Georgia and very close to Jacksonville, and that is where their spring training used to be. So him and his brothers would go and watch them during their spring training, and he just kept that love his whole life. He remembered it even when his dementia got bad. So it's something that we've all kind of taken the mantle up on, even though I am terrible at keeping up with sports. But I told Cole that early in our relationship, and he remembered and got those tickets. So we went and saw that on May 7th. And then May 10th, I had my wisdom teeth removed. Any of you guys out there who have had that surgery probably know what a pain it is. I only had 3, my 2 top ones and my bottom right. But my bottom right was a lot of trouble. The surgery was quick, it went smoothly, but it was giving me a lot of pain for a good 2 or 3 weeks. It had been erupting since probably my junior or senior year of high school. I should have gotten them removed a lot earlier, but I didn't because I was stubborn. Have a fear of needles that has gotten slightly better, and just hate people poking around in my mouth in general with sharp tools. I've had bad experiences with dentists. But yeah, it had been erupting for several years at that point, and it was coming in sideways and sitting around a nerve. So that socket where they had to remove it at a weird angle and very tender and around a nerve. So that nerve had to heal. But I am just thankful because when I went in for my consultation the month prior, they told me, just be aware, since that one is sitting around a nerve, you may lose feeling in your chin for a few days. Thankfully that didn't happen. That would have been terrible. But it did cause a pain that would just radiate fully up the side of my face. And so I was wearing glasses for a good week. Then, I guess it was May 20th, I had my eye doctor's appointment. My prescription went further down. I have been nearsighted my whole life, and my prescription just keeps getting worse, y'all. And then on Memorial Day, Cole and I went to Six Flags over Georgia and spent the day there, and that was a lot of fun because I have never been to Six Flags before, which he thought was absolutely crazy. But I am a sucker for fast rides and thrills, except for just the dead drops out in the air. Those terrify me. I had too many experiences as a tiny kid of feeling like I was flying out of the seat in those drops. So I don't do those unless it is the Tower of Terror. It is enclosed and those seats are good at strapping you in. So but I had such a fun time there. And y'all, that park is so creative because the Superman coaster, once you're all in the seats and you're getting ready to go, it tilts you parallel so you are like flying like Superman. That was so cool and so much fun. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, and then my family, my mom's side of the family had a family reunion June 7th through 9th, but mom's mom scared everyone because she fell in her yard, well, on her carport really, going up to get the mail, busted up her face, thought she had broke a finger, scraped up her arm and her knee really bad. Thankfully, her nephew was mowing her yard for her, but she about gave him a heart attack because he thought she just keeled over and died. Thankfully, she didn't. But that was the Friday before the family reunion. That was actually June 1st. So my parents and sister went down the next day to stay with her and take care of her and take her to her doctor's appointments and everything, and then drive her down to the reunion in Florida. So I was home alone with the dogs for 6 days. And I went down there at a flight at 5 a.m. out of Chattanooga. So I stayed up for more than 27 hours because there was no way I was leaving my house at 3:30 and risking sleeping and missing my alarm and missing my flight. So, yeah. Yeah, and then just, trying to find my motivation again. But it's been a fun month, though. It has. But I am glad to be here, safe, as mentally well as I can be, with a very loving family and boyfriend, and just fortunate enough to be able to do this right now. Because there are just people who are not fortunate and blessed like I am. But anyway, that's to say, I have been perpetually exhausted this month. So. But I've had fun. But back on the subject of feeling old recently, Cole's brother is 14, almost 15. I have a cousin who is the same age. And just, have you realized that even 14, almost 15-year-olds probably have never had to deal with dial-up internet? I'm 25, but I have. It took me, Mom, Poppy until I was practically in high school to get wireless internet instead of dial-up. They had an old box computer for ages as well. But I grew up with one of those too. I remember playing computer games on a CD-ROM on the old dial-up computer. I played the Bear in the Big Blue House one to death. If you remember that game, let me know, because I have been just wanting to experience the nostalgia of playing that game recently. Like, you would go around and find the things, and like, it involved cooking at some point or something. I literally am struggling to remember it, but I would play that like until I was in middle school. I enjoyed it so much. There are a few other CD-ROM games that I am fairly certain are just a fever dream of mine. But they also don't know what a VHS tape is, or a VCR, or how before you had streaming, you either had a DVR if you were like fortunate, or you still had to use VHS tapes in your VCR to be on that channel and record over something, or record a completely blank tape to record your show. You had to sit through commercials. You just didn't have ad-free streaming. And like, home phones. I mean, Cole's family still has a home phone, but I don't think my cousin knows what a home phone is, much less a landline or a rotary. I know what those are. I know how to use a rotary phone. Like, I still use my home phone number if I'm ever anywhere where there's a Kroger. That's still our membership account number. I used that all through college because there was a Kroger. That's where I got my groceries. I feel old. Like, this generational divide thing is getting so crazy. Like, technically, I think I'm a Gen Z, but I feel more millennial. Like, I feel like I'm that weird in between. But it's, not to mention my body just cracks if I move wrong anymore. First couple years of college, I could study sitting on the very uncomfortable floor if I didn't want to sit at a desk or on my bed. last 2 years of college, I could not get up off the floor without help. It's also weird knowing that their first cell phone was, you know, touchscreen, all that kind of stuff. Mine was one of those where it was a slide phone. So, you know, you had the very small phone. It was probably that tall. Screen was like that big, and then you had the keypad with the numbers. But then if you slid it sideways up, you had a full keyboard to text on. I didn't have internet on that thing. I barely had data. I think this is actually working, y'all. I think I actually got it centered. If the bag will stand correctly. Like I said, the weight has been flopping it over. So, but yeah. Yeah, I will have a button right about here. I will need to straighten this out some, but that is a problem for another time. I just want to work on this part. I'll probably stick books in it or something to straighten it out, but I think getting this flap done and doing the straps for it will really help with the shaping of it. But I am also excited because what I have planned for the flap is, once I've got the flap complete and got it centered and everything with the button so that I can actually close it, I'm going to be making the face detailing for Optimus, like his little head thing that's gray right here, his eyes, his mouth part, which is also gray, and then sewing them onto the flap to make his face. And then I am also hoping that I have enough time to make his legs and then attach them to the bottom. So it actually looks like Optimus, you know? That might be a bit ambitious, but I'm hoping. I have enough polyfill for it anyway. This is probably going to be like 45 rows or something for the flap. I'll keep y'all updated on that anyway. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. on row 7 right now, so probably more than 45. I'm running out of things to talk about. If any of y'all have any ideas, have made a backpack like this before, or either freehanded like I'm doing, or done a pattern, how did y'all get the bags to stand straight? Because this weight is really causing it to lose all its shape. So I would appreciate any suggestions that are not, you should have used a ribbon yarn to get it to stand straight, or rope, or something like that. This is what the store had. It was cheap. I'm on a budget. And I am way too far along to do anything about that now. I'm also planning on one of the straps, or both the straps, I'm not sure yet, sewing on the Autobot symbol. So this year there has been a new release of a Transformer comics, like a whole new storyline and everything, and Cole has been getting them and reading them and enjoying them, and I think they are up to issue 9 or 10 having been released now, but they did a book release compilation thing for issues 1 to 6 that he also got, and he gave to me to read, and I have read part of it. The only issue I've had is I've had a hard time finding good stopping places because it is not broken down like the actual individual comics are. It is just one continuous story, so I don't know where issue 1 ends, issue 2 begins, and all that. So I've just been taking it at my own pace, but it is really cool. Like, this is the book. Like, it's a fairly thick issue. But, yeah, Image Comics is the one who has the publishing rights to it, I believe. And it is a new release because it's now part of the Energon universe, which is the material used by the Autobots and Cybertrons, I believe they're called, the bad guys, Megatron's group, to power themselves. And it also ties in with like the G.I. Joe comics and stuff like that now because it's the same publishing company. But it's good. I like the art style, and it's really interesting to see how they've done it because they have already, as far as I've gotten in, made reference to Duke, who is a part of another comic series that Image publishes. The Duke comics, I don't know if that's the name of them or something, but Cole has a few of those. So it's been interesting. Especially since Megatron hasn't shown up yet, only a few of the other Cybertrons. But again, I don't know what issue I'm on in the book, so I don't know how far along I am. I feel like I've at least made it past issue 1. But the art style is so good. There are so many good panels in there. So I've enjoyed just looking at the art as well as reading. Because it is a good plot so far. Although I don't know how much of a plot there has been, since I don't know how far along I am. I also don't know if there's a limit on this run or if it's going to be indefinite like the detective comics. You know, the Batman detective comics, which are like hundreds if not thousands of issues in. So I am hoping that I will record a podcast in the next 2 or 3 days. Tomorrow is my sister's birthday, but I work tomorrow evening, but Wednesday is Juneteenth, and so the library is closed. So myself, Mom, and our aunt are planning on spending the day with her Wednesday, so I probably won't record anything then. So either Tuesday or Thursday, I think I want to record a podcast, even if it's short, even if there's barely anything in it, because I still want to hold myself accountable to what I am working on. Oh, also, I still need pattern testers for my Beatrice off-shoulder top. I finished that in like April, and I have it graded for sizes extra small to, I believe it's extra large or 2XL, but I have never written a top pattern before. I've never graded a pattern for sizing before, so I really do need pattern testers for it. I will post the link for the Google Forms sheet if you want to apply to be a tester. It uses fingering weight yarn. The max amount that I can estimate, if I'm doing the math correctly, is around 1,100 yards of fingering weight yarn for it. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember what size crochet hook I used. I want to say I used a 4mm, but it is definitely going to be a long testing period, at least 6 weeks, because again, I've never graded anything. I've never written a garment pattern like that before, so I definitely will need input, feedback, and help for for the pattern. So if you guys wouldn't mind taking a look and sharing it around, it would be greatly appreciated, because I do want to get this pattern published, but I just don't want to do it without any feedback and have people coming at me saying it's wrong, it doesn't fit, that doesn't work, etc., etc., etc. So again, I will put that link in the description. I have told myself multiple times I am going to regret leaving all these ends inside unweaved for so long, because now I'm gonna have to do them later. It is my least favorite thing to do. It's gonna take me over an hour to do all of them. It's what I get for being a procrastinator and not weaving as I go. I did work over most, if not all, of the ends, but I still like to be extra cautious and secure them even more by weaving them in. But it's not my favorite thing to do. Projects where I only have like very few, like the beginning and the end to weave in, those are my favorite. Projects like this, where I've not done this whole section, makes me regret my choices. But it's been a lot of fun because I have never done a project with color work like this before. So it has been a lesson in patience, trial and error, and figuring out what in the world I am doing. But it has been enjoyable. And I am not saying that sarcastically. I have enjoyed this process. I just don't enjoy the cleanup, basically. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. This is a good one. This is row 10, so this will be my last row for this Crochet and Chat. I have definitely enjoyed doing this. This has definitely gotten me motivated to actually work on the flap. It was frustrating me so much that I just had to put it aside for a few days, and then I wasn't wanting to pick it up again, so I just needed a change of pace to do something, and this has been exactly what I needed, because now I don't want to put it down, but I need to. But you know, I am 10 rows closer to this being done. So I definitely feel accomplished doing this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this as well. I hope that if you had a project you were needing to work on but didn't have the motivation to do, you were able to grab that and join along with me. I would love, love, love to hear if you guys want to see more of this type of stuff, because I could definitely see myself doing this again. If you have any conversation topics for the next time I decide to do this, leave your suggestions in the comments down below. I definitely will take suggestions because I have run out of things to talk about for today. It would greatly help if you guys would give this video a like to know that you did enjoy it. Again, thank you to everybody who has subscribed these last couple months. I really appreciate it. And again, just thank you guys for being here and watching my videos. I really appreciate all of your support. Every single like, comment, and subscribe really helps me, helps motivate me, lets me know that you guys enjoy watching my videos, even though I still do feel weird talking to myself every time I do one of these. But I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I enjoy sharing what I make with y'all. And there it is, row 10. Look at how much I got done, y'all. This is great for an hour's work. These rows are 64 stitches across, so a fairly good bit. But this is what we've got going so far. So yeah, again, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Until next time, happy crocheting, y'all.